Welcome to this in-depth guide on how Lunar Wars plays. In this video, we'll walk you through a full game round and dive into the tactical depth and immersive charm that make Lunar Wars such a thrilling experience. Lunar Wars is a near-future sci-fi skirmish game set on the moon. It's all about lunar colonization, resource extraction, and military dominance. The world of Lunar Wars is supported by a rich and fully developed lore, which you can explore in more detail right here on our YouTube channel. The game is played between two opposing sides, or factions, on a 60 by 44-inch tabletop, using highly detailed 45mm miniatures sculpted by legends like Bob Naismith. Each player picks a faction, and each faction comes with its own unique playstyle, strengths, and weaknesses, offering deep tactical variety and endless replayability. Lunar Wars is played over a series of rounds until one player achieves the victory conditions set by the scenario, most often by reaching a target number of victory points. There are 3 ways to earn victory points in the game. First, by purchasing them with command points. Second, by using the special abilities of your heroes. And third, through the political influence of your CLN delegates, the shadowy power players behind your war effort. Command points are your lifeblood in Lunar Wars. They power your war machine and your political engine. Without them, your ability to fight and influence the battlefield slowly collapses. You earn command points by controlling tactical objectives, which represent lunar mining operations extracting the precious resource helium-3. This isotope is the key to clean nuclear energy, and controlling it gives your faction the edge in the race for lunar dominance and beyond. A standard skirmish game is played with 5 tactical objectives on the table. Each one generates a set number of command points at the start of your round, as long as you control it. To control an objective, you need to be the only player with units within 6 inches of it. If both factions have units nearby, the objective is contested and generates no income, representing a stalled mining operation caught in the crossfire. So, with those core concepts in place, let's dive into what a typical game round looks like in Lunar Wars. A round of Lunar Wars is divided into several key phases: the governance phase, the tactical command phase, the movement phase, the shooting phase, the close combat phase, and finally, the end phase. Let's kick things off by looking at the governance phase. This phase sets the tone for the entire round, and it consists of 4 steps. Step 1. Determine initiative. Initiative determines which player activates units first this round. If one faction has more victory points, they claim initiative. But if scores are tied, or if it's the very first round of the game, you'll settle it with a simple D6 roll-off. Since Lunar Wars uses alternating activations, having initiative can offer a real tactical edge. Step 2. Draw event card. Combat on the moon is never predictable. Meteor showers, solar flares causing deadly radiation. Anything can disrupt your plans. At the start of each round, draw a lunar event card to introduce an unexpected twist. These events affect the battlefield for the rest of the round, forcing players to adapt their strategies. In Lunar Wars, adaptability is just as important as firepower. Step 3. Activate national advisors. If you're using the optional Council of Lunar Nations political module, your faction will have a CLN delegate, a political power broker with access to a unique CLN activation board. Now is their time to act. Spend command points to trigger powerful political maneuvers. Maybe you'll pass a bill to boost your mining output, fund a weapons program, or even hire a spy to eliminate a rival delegate. Each move on the CLN board costs a different amount of command points, depending on its complexity and impact. This adds a whole new layer of depth to the game, blending war room tactics with political intrigue. We'll be diving deeper into CLN politics in a separate video, so stay tuned for that. Step 4. Collect resources. Now it's time to check the battlefield. Look at which tactical objectives your faction controls and collect the command points they generate. These resources are vital. They'll power your military actions, activate abilities, and keep your war effort running. So, with initiative decided, the moon's weather forecast for meteor showers in place, your political plays set in motion, and your command points collected, you're now ready to move into the next phase of the round, the tactical command phase. This phase is all about preparation. Commanders make big decisions here that will shape the rest of the round. It consists of 3 steps. Step 1. The player with initiative decides who recruits first. In Lunar Wars, knowing your opponent's recruitment choices before making your own can be a game-changing advantage. So the player with initiative decides, do they want to recruit first or pass the opportunity and react second? Step 2. Recruit units. A steady influx of units keeps your faction in control, applying military pressure, capturing new tactical objectives, or defending those you already hold. Before moving to the next step, let's take a closer look at units and how they function in Lunar Wars. Each unit is represented by a group of highly detailed 45mm miniatures. Every unit also comes with a full-color unit card, which displays its stats, abilities, and tactical options at a glance. Let's break one down. Here's the card for a squad of US Lunar Corps Astro Marines. In the top right corner, you'll see the number of models in the unit. Here it's 3. In the bottom right, within the light blue box, is the command point cost required to recruit this unit. Next, let's look at the unit stats. Movement 8 inches. That's how far the unit can move during the movement phase. Fire range 24. The reach of the Astro Marines tactical rifles. Firepower 3d6. This is how many dice you roll when the unit shoots. Close combat 3d6. The number of dice rolled in melee combat. Defensive value 2d6. The number of dice rolled to save against enemy attacks. Unit strength 3. Each casualty reduces this by 1. If the strength hits 0, the unit is destroyed and removed from play. In the center bottom of the unit card, you'll find any special abilities. For the Astro Marines, this is Vigilance, allowing them to make a reactive shooting attack when charged in close combat. A powerful counterplay tool. On each side of the card, you'll see 2 additional zones: Upgrade and Attachment. Upgrades let you customize units with new weapon systems or tactical gear, ideal for specialized missions like busting mechs or breaching defenses. Attachments are added models, such as a medic or officer, who bring powerful new abilities and can influence nearby friendly units. Across your faction, you'll have access to a wide array of unit types, from standard infantry to elite squads, towering makers, long-range sniper teams, drone operators, and lunar vehicles like the Recon Rover. Every unit you recruit includes its own unit card, with cost and abilities clearly displayed. When you buy a Lunar Wars boxed set, the card is always included in the box. Step 3. Purchase victory points. Now the player who recruited first also declares how many victory points, VPs, they want to buy, if any. Victory points are purchased with command points, and this creates an important strategic trade-off. Do you spend your CPs on political plays in the CLN, recruiting more firepower onto the battlefield, or directly buying victory points to edge closer to victory? Each scenario in Lunar Wars has a clear VP win condition, known to both players. That makes the pursuit of VPs a game within the game, forcing you to balance your long-term objectives with immediate tactical needs, all while reacting to your opponent's evolving priorities. So with your resources spent, political machinations in motion, and reinforcements landing on the battlefield, it's time to move into the next phase. The movement phase. The player with the initiative begins the phase by activating one of their units and moving it. Then players alternate activations, taking turns to move one unit at a time. To move a unit, simply refer to its unit card for its movement rate, then measure that distance in inches and reposition the unit accordingly on the battlefield. Some units benefit from unique movement-related abilities. For example, the US ISRS Special Ops can gain a movement bonus if they have their Shadowhawk Recon drone deployed. This represents their advanced battlefield awareness from topographical scanning. Charging enemy units. Charging into melee is also done during the movement phase. When a unit declares a charge, it moves directly into contact with an enemy unit, locking both units in close combat. Once locked, these units won't be able to shoot during the upcoming shooting phase. They're too busy engaging in brutal close-quarters fighting. The outcome of these charges will be resolved later in the close combat phase. Terrain and tactical positioning. Most Lunar Wars battles take place around base camps, mining installations, or modular fortifications, meaning the battlefield will often be full of terrain features. Lunar cliffs, shield walls, craters, cargo containers, satellite uplinks. Use them wisely. Good cover can mean the difference between surviving a brutal barrage or being wiped off the board in seconds. Caught in the open, that's a death sentence on the moon. Once all units from both players have completed their movements, it's time to lock and load. The next phase is where tactical positioning and line of sight come to bear. Welcome to the shooting phase. Any unit not engaged in close combat is now eligible to fire. The player with the initiative selects one of their units to shoot first. Then players alternate activations, taking turns firing one unit at a time. The weapons of the Lunar Wars are devastating. Units caught in the open won't last long, which is why cover is critical. Light cover grants plus 1d6 to a unit's defensive roll. Heavy cover grants plus 2d6. These bonuses are added to the unit's defensive value, found on its unit card, when saving against incoming hits. The morale system, seamless and visual. Before diving deeper into firepower and special rules, let's look at the core of Lunar Wars' intuitive system: unit strength and morale. Each unit's morale is visually represented on the table by the number of models it has left. For example, a standard squad of Astro Marines begins at unit strength 3, meaning 3 miniatures on the board. Your unit's performance, both offensively and defensively, is directly tied to its current strength. Unit strength 3, meaning 3 models remaining. The unit hits and saves on 4+. Unit strength 2, meaning 2 models remaining. The unit hits and saves on 5+. Unit strength 1, meaning 1 model remaining. The unit hits and saves on 6+. The number of dice rolled stays the same, 3d6 when shooting, 2d6 when saving, but your odds get worse as morale drops. Simple, visual, brutal. Weapon abilities. Now let's take a closer look at some special weapon rules that bring strategic depth to the battlefield. Blast. Heavy weapons like missile systems or grenade launchers deal suppressive damage. For each 6 rolled on the attack dice, the target unit loses 1 defense die to a minimum of 1. This strips away the enemy's defensive output fast. Pierce. Armor-piercing weapons reduce the enemy's ability to save. For each 6 on the attack dice, the target's save roll is worsened by -1 to a max of 6. Note, a roll of 6 is always a successful save, even under pierce effects. Fear. Some weapons aren't just lethal, they're terrifying. If a weapon or artillery strike causes fear, the targeted unit gains 1 fear token, even if all hits are saved. Fear and morale checks. Units with fear tokens must make morale checks to activate in any phase. The check is rolled on a d6. Subtract the number of fear tokens from the result. If successful, the unit can act normally and remove 1 fear token. If a unit has fear tokens equal to or greater than its unit strength, it breaks and is immediately removed from play. Officers and command bonuses. During recruitment, the tactical command phase, you can attach officers to your units. Lieutenant costs 1 command point, adds +1 to morale rolls for the unit and nearby friendly units within 16 inches. Captain costs 2 command points, adds +2 to morale rolls under the same conditions. Officers are your unit's backbone. Use them well, especially when facing weapons that cause fear. Once the dust from the volleys settles and the smoke hangs heavy over the lunar surface, it's time to settle scores up close. Let's dive into the close combat phase. The close combat phase. The battle thickens as enemies clash in brutal hand-to-hand combat. The player with the initiative chooses which close combat engagement to resolve first. When a unit declares a charge during the movement phase, it automatically becomes the attacker, while the charged unit becomes the defender in the first round of close combat. the attacker rolls the number of dice listed under close combat on its unit card. The defender rolls dice equal to its defensive value. As in the shooting phase, a unit's current unit strength determines the required roll for a hit or save. Unit Strength 3 needs 4+ to hit or save. Unit Strength 2 needs 5+ to hit or save. Unit Strength 1 needs 6s to hit or save. Close combat twist. If the defender rolls more successful saves than the attacker scored hits, the surplus successes inflict direct casualties on the attacking unit. This reflects the danger of charging heavily armored enemies or dense enemy formations. Example, an Astro Marine squad, unit strength of 2, charges a Roscosmos Krepost mecha. They roll 3d6 for close combat and need 5+ to hit. The Krepost mecha rolls 3d6 in defense, needing 4+ to save. The Marines roll a 2, 4, and 6. They get 1 hit. The mecha rolls a 1, 4, and 4, generating 2 saves. The 1 hit from the Astro Marines is cancelled out, and the excess save rolled by the mecha inflicts 1 casualty on the Marines, and they lose 1 unit strength as a consequence. Cover in close combat. Units in cover gain additional defensive dice when charged. Light cover adds +1d6, while heavy cover adds +2d6 to the defensive dice characteristic of any given unit. Use terrain wisely. Charging into fortified positions can be very costly. Locked in combat. Units remain locked in close combat until one side is destroyed or a retreat is attempted. After the first round of close combat, the attacker and defender's roles are reversed. The previous defender now becomes the attacker and rolls their close combat dice, while the previous attacker now defends, rolling their defensive value. Retreating from close combat. After the initial exchange, a player with the initiative may declare a retreat. To retreat successfully, roll 1d6 against the unit's current morale. On success, the unit disengages and moves 1 full movement away from combat. On failure, the unit remains locked in place and assumes the role of defender in the ensuing close combat roll. The end phase. As the name suggests, this is the final phase in a round of Lunar Wars. First, make sure all combats and activations have been resolved. Then determine control of any tactical objectives on the battlefield. These may impact victory conditions, resource gains, or other scenario-specific rewards. After this, there's just one last thing to take care of: deployment from reserves. Some units have the special ability to deploy deep behind enemy lines, often governed by specific rules or limitations. These special deployments happen now. The player with the initiative decides who deploys first. Deployment proceeds unit by unit, alternating between players. Once all reserve deployments are complete, the next round of Lunar Wars begins, and with it a new cycle of tactics, betrayals, and brutal fights for lunar dominance. This concludes our tutorial covering a full round of Lunar Wars. We hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay updated as we release new faction spotlight videos, featuring an in-depth look at each faction's unique units, heroes, and battlefield tactics. Thanks for watching. See you on the moon.